Hello everyone. So how are you doing? So this is my first live video. I'll wait for at least one person to come in. If not, wherever you meet me, you can start all over. So today my first live video ever in my sewing channel. So and I want to sew a A-line dress with a puff sleeve and elastic at the band. So here's the cutting. So this is the measurement of the clients that I'll be using. So I'll be saying it out as I go. So first of all, this is a fabric that was used. So it's going to be a three-quarter dress, not a long one. So instead of cutting the So instead of just folding it straight and do my A-line, I'm just going to bend it a little bit. See what I did? Instead of just bending it just this way straight, I'm just going to bend it a little bit to form a bit of triangle, but it's not going to be like flay. It's just going to give us that flay A-line shape, not big. So this is what I did. So I'll still fold a bit because of the boss. So I'm going to use here as my starting point. Let me see. Wherever my shoulder is. So the shoulder is 17 inches. Shoulder is 17. Let me turn this way. So I can see what I'm doing. So the shoulder is 17 inches. So I'm going to place my tape wherever the 17 inches, so I'll divide by 2. So it's going to give us 8.5, which is 8.5. So I have 8.5 here. So let me just come down a bit. I'll just take my 8.5 here. So I'll rule a line. So this is serving as my starting point, this line here, as my starting point. Then I'm going to secure with a pin. Going to secure it with a pin. So then I will impute the shoulder, 16 divided by 2, 7.5. Then I'm going to come down with 1 inch shoulder slope. Then from there, I'm going to impute the armhole circumference. I'm using 9 inches. This 9 inches including my joining of half inches. Then I'm going to come here and look for 9 inches. Then I'm going to impute my shoulder also, 8.5. And I'm connecting it together. So with this, you will notice that some people will be wondering that why is this place so deep? So with this, I have a straight square. So I don't know if you can see my drawing very well. Let me just okay, I think this is better. So like I said, this is my starting line. Then this is where I marked 9. This is 9. Sorry. This is the 9 here. So that means from this starting line, I have 10. So this is it. So basically this is where I'm going to start imputing my round measurement second. First of all, I'm going to start with the bust. So the bust is 45 inches. 45 inches divided by 4. We have 11 and 11.25, which is 11 and quarter. Yeah. But at the same time, this dress is not having a zipper, and at the same time I don't want it to be too big, so I'm just going to add like to a quarter of an inch to the bust measurement. So that means I'll be doing 48. That means the total of 45 inches, I added just 3 inches for ease, so I'll be doing 48. So this is 48 divided by 4, we have 12 inches. Then I'm going to go ahead and add 1 inch for sewing allowance. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to come and just draw this till I get to where I want it to be. So till I get to this part. So next, what I'm going to do is that I'm not adding the scallop to this cloth. I'll be using the scallop for something separate. So I'll take the measurement of what I have. I'm working based on the measurements of the length of my fabric. So here I have 41. So I'm just going to take the 41 inches. But I'll be doing 45. So I'm going to use the scallop to increase it to 45. So that's what I'll do. So I'll just go from the beginning to the end. I'll just take 41 inches all through. This 41. So this place I came down with 1 inch. I'm going to slope it. So for my shoulder slope, the standard measurement is 3 inches. Then I'm going to slope this 1 inch to the 3 inch. After doing this, I'm going to impute my main neck measurement. So I'm using a neck width of 5 inches. Then a neck depth also of 5 inches. Then I'll use my ruler to connect each point together. So for the back, I'm not going to come deep as 5 inches. For the back, I'm going to use 3 inches. So I'll connect this back to the 5 inches. So I'm going to cut this off and cut the back. I'm cutting the back first because we'll be using this to cut the back. So I'll cut the back first. So for the armhole, we're going to work on it. So we'll check what we have. We have 9 inches. We'll divide into 2, 4.5. Then we're going to connect just for the back. We're just going to do a curve to meet with our measurements. Then for the front, we're going to come into the body of the dress with 1/2 inch. Then connect this 1/2 inch to this place and connect this to this one too. Then connect it back to the front. But as I'm cutting, I'm not going to cut deep inside. I'm going to cut the first curve, which did not go inside, because like I said, we're using this to cut the back. So for example, if your fabric, maybe you don't have enough fabric and your fabric is on a straight fold, when you get to the tip of the dress, you can just add 6 inches, a minimum of 6 inches to have that A-line shape. So you can add as much as 8, 7, 8, 9, 10, even 12. Depends on how wide you want. But if you really want to get that A shape that is not really sharp, I'll advise you cut in a little bit of a bias form. So I'll set this aside. I'll try to see if I can get another one out of it. So probably this is going to have a joining, because let me check the other fabric. because this is what I use this in sewing for a funeral some time back. Yeah, so it's the remaining one of the sisters requested that I make a dress for her, so she brought, so you see that in pieces form, she brought it this way. So you see the way I'm folding it again, I just folded a bit in a bias form, not too much. See, I didn't do it very wide, I just did it a bit. Instead of having a straight cut, I just did a bit of a bias form. So I'm going to place the front at the back to cut, because I want exactly what I have at the front at the back also. So I'm done cutting the two piece, this and this is the back. So I'll set this aside, then I'm going to take the front. Remember the adjustment we did, so I'm going to come cut out the main armhole for the front, then the neckline for the front. This dress is not going to have a pocket because it's a transparent lacy fabric, but if you want a pocket for yours, you can add. So all you need to do a pocket for yours is to, maybe I might try to add pockets, but I'll be using a plain white fabric for the pocket. So let's add pockets to this dress. So from the armhole, I'm just going to come here and mark 9 inches. So that 9 inches, from there I'm going to come down and mark 7 inches. So that means my pocket is going to start from here and end here. So that is it. I'll take this to the sewing machine and I'm going to join it now. So let's go and join this. Please, if you come on live, just give this video, just like this video, so that you encourage me to post more simple tutorials, beginners friendly. I'm going to be doing it at least for you guys. Sorry. Sorry. So for the shoulder of the dress, I'm going to be doing a French sewing. You might say, what's a French sewing? So this is how a French sewing looks like. So a French sewing, what you do is you place the back together, the wrong side together. See, that means like you have the main dress. So I'm going to close here first before turning it back to close. But before I do that, I'm going to remove stone. So after sewing at the right side, what you need to do is to turn it to the wrong side, just as if you are joining the shoulder all over again. So I'll turn to the wrong side. Then I'll come and sew it with another 1/4 inch. You know, we are using a total of 1/2 inch to join it. So I'm sewing with 1/4 inch again, giving us a total of 1/2 inches. So so this is what a French sewing looks like. So you see the front and see the back, so we don't have any rough edge there. So next I'm going to go over and join my side with 1 inch. You know, I left 1 inch for sewing allowance, but be mindful, I have to be mindful of my stone. So this is the place I marked for our pocket. So I'm going to top stitch here, then I'm going to jump the space. If you don't know how to do, if you're a beginner, you can as well, after top stitching here, you can as well sew down and top stitch it, then you come back and lose it. But for me, that one is extra work and wastage of thread, so I'm just going to shift it. See the way I'm shifting it? I'll just shift it, bring it here, and start from here again. So you see, I've top stitched again at that part. I'm being careful because of stone. So you see our opening for pockets. So this is the opening for the pocket. So I'll turn to the other side of the dress. And I'm going to sew from the 1 inch again that we left. If you are working with a fabric that has stone, please be careful. So I forgot our pockets line, so let's put it, you know, I didn't mark it here, so the 9 inches here. So I'm going to come and top stitch here. and the space for my pocket is 7 inches. I'm going to skip this. Now start from here. So the next thing I'm going to do is to cut the pocket and the sleeve. Hi Kate, how are you? Hi Promise, welcome. Please do well to like this video. So we're making a simple puff sleeve. So that is what this tutorial is all about today. So after joining this side, what I'm going to do now is to come take the measurement of our dance circumference. So I'm just going to place my tape this way and see what I have. So I have a total of 42 inches times 2 is 84 inches. I pray I have scallop that is going to go for it. 84 inches. So I'll be cutting my scallop as 5 inches or 6 inches. Yeah, 6 inches, because our gown, the length of our gown is 41. Then joining of the shoulder and joining of the dance, so we'll be left with 40, and I want this dress to be 45 inches. So I'm going to do this as 60 inches. I'll be working with all the scallop in this dress because I'm managing, it's a leftover fabric I'm using to do this. The client asked for it, so I have to try my best to give her what she wants. So we're going to have a lot of joining because of the scallop at the down part, but it's not going to show, it won't be pronounced. So let's set this aside, and I'll come here and take this again. Remember, I'm looking for 84 inches. At least let me have 1.5 of that, or two of that. It will be good. But if I can get 1.5 of that, which is 84 inches times 1.5, that will be okay, because I'm not going to do a full pleat. I'll just pleat it scantily. So I'm trying to get as much scallop I can get from this fabric. I don't think this will be enough at all. It won't be enough. So what I'm going to do, I have some scallop that are tiny. So maybe what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut the main fabric, then also join this scallop to it to give me what I will use, because I really want the damper to have that scallop effect. The end of the it's okay. not have anyone at the side. I've exhausted all my scallop. I'm left with this. With this. So let me first of all go and join all this one that I've cut out to see how long it's going to be. So I'll join all of them to see how long I have. So this is everything I could get. So let me measure it to see how long it is. So this 42. So this is another 42. So this is the extra. So I'm just going to work with this because I don't have any more scallop, but depends on how full you want yours to be. But I'm going to work with this. I'm going to manage it and work with it. Please, do you have measurement chart full body? Measurement chart for children and for adults? I have, but it's in a Kate. Okay, I have it. Maybe you should drop your WhatsApp number. I have it in a book form on my phone. Hi, Kate. I have for adult, then I have just a few on for children. Then what else? Please, can you make a video on how to cut a pencil skirt with elastic for the waist without zipper for the back? Please, thank you. Oh, okay, I will. I will, but you can have a pencil. One thing is that we can't sew a pencil skirt without elastic. Sorry, without zipper, Kate, because it has to have a zipper and a slit. Okay, even if we can sew a pencil skirt without zipper, yes, we can do that, but it has to have a slit for you to be able to walk. A pencil skirt had to have a slit for you to be able to walk. So tell me, what do you want? Because we can't sew a pencil skirt without a a a slit, because if there's no slit, you won't be able to work very well. So they have to be slits, even if you are going to cover the slit, but there will be a slip place for slit, then you cover it with a kissing plint for it not to show. If that is what you want, that is fine. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to start pleating this on the down part of this dress. So I'll just place it this way. I'll leave like half inches so that I can join the other end to it when I'm done. Then I'll start sewing. Because we don't have much, I'm not going to do much pleat. I'm just going to do little pleats with a lot of distance, with a lot of space. Because we're trying to manage our material. So you see what I'm doing? I'm just pleating like half inch with 2.5 inches space distance. And then this one around here. Ow. So I'm done pleating. Thank God I have excess. It's better is remaining than not enough. So I'm going to cut out the excess, then join it together. So this is how the down part looks like. It's not too full, but it's fine. So you see the beauty the edge gave to it. So next we're going to go cut the sleeve. Kate, good afternoon. Good afternoon. I don't have measurement charts for children. I only have for adults. I only have for an adult. So sometimes what I do, if I don't have the measurement, maybe someone is telling me to send to sew for a child, I will ask for the age of the child and probably a picture. With the picture of the child, I'll be able to get what I want. You can go on Google to get that. You see it. So for the sleeve, like I said, is going to be a puff sleeve with elastic, but we're cutting it in a straight form. So this is my fabric I folded into two. So I'll take the measurement that I desire. So I'm going to take the measurement I desire. So I'll be using 21 inches. I'll be using 21 inches. So for the up part, 21 inches by, how many do I have here? So this is 17, which is okay. So 21 by 17. So I'm just going to I don't need to measure the armhole of the cloth because it's going to have a gather there. So I'm just going to do a freehand something like this. Then I'll connect it. Then I'll cut it out. So this is for one sleeve. I'm going to cut the second one. So this for one sleeve. I'll try to get for the second sleeve. Like I said, I'm managing this fabric. It's small. I have to just make do of what I have. This is not long enough. Maybe I'll have a joining at the center. That is what is going to happen. Where I'm seeing this, I will have a joining somewhere because this is not long for what I want. This is what happens when you manage fabric, but I just decided to do this. At least it might be helpful to someone. So I have to reduce the length because I don't want to join. So this is me reducing the length of what I would have. So I have reduced the length. What's wrong with this? So I've reduced the length. I now have a length of 19 inches. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this to sewing machine. I'm going to bend with 1/4 inch. Then for the elastic, where I want the elastic to be, I'm going to mark it. So from the down part, I think I want the elastic to be let me say 7 inches. So I'm going to mark 7 inches here, or let me say 6.5, because I'll be folding with half inch at the down part, then I'll be left with 6 inches. So let me do 6.5. So I'll just mark 6.5 all the way. .5. Yes. So this is the line for 6. So I'm going to pass the elastic. I'm going to sew the elastic on top of it. So I'll bring this other one too and do the same thing for it. So I'll mark 6.5, 6.5, 6.5, 6.5, 6.5. So I'll try to remove any stone that is on my way. Then we'll start sewing. So I want it to be 14 inches, my elastic, because our arm is 16. Or I'm going to do 13 so that it will grip very well but not too tight. So I'm going to do 13. Cutting 2 of it. So I'll place the elastic this way at the end, top stitch on it, then I'll drag it as I sew on that line we'll mark. I'm going to repeat the same thing on this other side. So this is how it looks like. You can see the way it's looking. So I'll go ahead to fold the down parts of the sleeve before we close it. after doing this, I'm going to close it. So this is how the sleeve look like. It's coming into shape. So we're going to notch the center of the sleeve, then we're going to attach to our dress. So while attaching your sleeve, your dress has to be on the wrong side. So your dress has to be on the wrong side, while your sleeve will be at the right side. This is what I mean. This is the right side of the sleeve. This is the wrong side of the dress. So you take the sleeve and open your armhole, then you put it this way. So with this, since the sleeve is going inside, with this it's going to be right side facing each other. So the place I notched, I'm going to place it on the shoulder so that we'll have equal fabric for the sleeve. And I'm going to take this joining from this dress and look for the joining at the sleeve also. Look for the joining at the sleeve also, then I'll place it this way. So the joining should be touching each other. So I'm going to start sewing. You can decide to do pleats or gathers for your sleeve. But me, I'm going to do gathers. I'm going to sew it straight to an extent. I'm sewing it straight to an extent before I start with my gathers. So I'll start gathering it from here. Not too much, just a bit. So I'm done with one side of the sleeve. I'm going to fix the second part of the sleeve again. So I'll notch. So I'm going to check where the shoulder is facing at this side I fixed. That's the same way place this other one is going to fix. So I'm going to place it this way. Carry the middle, put together. Please always make use of your pin. It's very, very important. So we are done. We're almost done with this dress. So you just to fix the pocket and turn the neck with a bias. So this is what it looks like. So the next thing I'm going to do is to turn the neck with a bias tape. You can decide to use the fabric itself. You can decide to use a bias tape. So me, I'll be using a bias tape for it because I don't have enough fabric for that. So I'll be using a bias tape for it. So when turning with a bias tape, you start sewing from the right side of the fabric this way. So this is the back. I'm going to fold my tape, then I'll place it this way, and I'll start sewing. This bias tape has made it easy. So you sew on this first folded line, which is 1/4 inch. The entire width of this bias tape is 1 inch. So we have half, then quarter fold on each side. So I'm going to start sewing on the 1/4 inch, the line, the first fold line. I'm going to set this aside. So if you notice, I came in like 1.5 inch just to cover it. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to turn the neck this way. See the way I did it. So I'm just going to take this up, then you bend it over and you start sewing again. So easy. So I'm done with it. So we're going to iron it, then we'll fix our pockets. So this damper, you can decide to leave it this way and just use iron to press it, or you can decide to top stitch on it, but I'm going to leave mine this way. So next I'm going to be cutting the pockets for the dress. So for the pockets, I'm just going to get a piece of satin fabric. Remember, our pocket width opening is 7 inches. So I'm going to do 8, or let me say I'm going to do 9 inches. So one will be after the opening, 1 inch will be after the opening, another inch will be before the opening. So I'm just going to cut this way. So the length I'll be using for my pocket is also, I'll use 10 inches because I want it to be deep. So I'm cutting 9 by 10. The length is 10 inches, the width is 9 inches. So I have 2 of this piece here. This is for one pocket. I'm going to cut another like this for the second pocket. So I have my 4 piece, 2 on each side of the pocket. I'm going to fix it now. Let's take on this. So this is what I mean. So I'm going to, this is the opening here, so I'm going to take it upward 1 inch before the opening. I'll sew it half inches. So this is the end of the opening, so it's going to go 1 inch after the opening also. Please, it's the right side that is facing each other. See, the right side of the satin is facing the right side of the cloth. So I'm going to make sure that this one is starting from where this top equal. You go again and sew half inch. After doing this, I'm going to come to the side and close the pockets. I'm going to repeat the same thing on this other side. So guys, we are done with this dress. It's left to iron, and let me show you what it looks like. To wear it on the mannequin to see what it looks like. First of all, I'm going to iron the neck to be balanced. So let me put it on the mannequin. I'm going to come back and do a proper ironing. So this is what it looks like. So simple but beautiful. So if I should pin it at the back, it's going to have more beauty, because it's not the size of the mannequin. That is why it's this way, but still it's still looking cute. So let me just say I hold it a bit at the back. So we'll have. So thank you for staying with us. I'll see you all in my next live video. Bye for now.